These are the best Nintendo Switch 2 accessories you can buy. Maybe. I mean, they're the best ones that I found. If you know any more that you can recommend down below, I'll take a look in a future video. But I feel like all of this covers every possible base when it comes to using your Nintendo Switch 2, whether it's portably, out of the house, on a plane and traveling, or in the house and you want a different way to dock it or a different way to experience your Switch, or you want your Switch 2 to look different. Because you might notice here, I've made my Switch 2 look so much better. Personally, I felt like the vanilla Switch 2 was missing a lot of pizzazz and color, and bang, bang, pop, pop. Look at this guy shine over here with the colored buttons, and we'll get to that. I love all of these accessories. I use most of them every day. I also want to stress that none of these products are sponsoring the video today. None of them paid to be here. These are legitimately the products that I've been using and that I think are the best for my Switch 2. Tokyo Treat and Sakurako were the sponsor, but we'll get to that in a minute. So I don't want to make you wait any longer because I feel like the most enticing thing on this table right now are these colored buttons. So let's start there. The Switch Buttons. It might sound like I said the same thing twice, but the company is called Switch Buttons. You can go to switchbuttons.com to find these. This is so incredibly cool. I mean, the main attraction here speaks for itself. They've obviously swapped out the internal buttons for these colored ones that they make and manufacture themselves. They're all a one-for-one recreation, and they all fit and feel exactly the same as stock standard. They just look so much better. And I really, really felt like there was just a missed opportunity with this new Switch 2 to go heavier on some color. I mean, when the Joy-Cons are all put together, normally you lose the colored rails and you're just left with these little colored analog sticks, and it's just not enough personality from Nintendo. The buttons just blend into the rest of the controller, and sure, it looks sleek, but this is Nintendo. There's no reason for it not to have a pop of color and still look really sleek. There's another element here that you might have noticed, and that's these textured patterns that I have on my Joy-Cons. These are actually these here. They do a bunch of different ones. I don't know what they're all called, but you have like this psychedelic circle pattern. You have I forget what it's called, but it's the same kind of pattern that you'll find in a Tesla. But there's a bunch of different patterns and designs you can go for. I personally really liked this tiny hexagonal pattern. It just gives it a really nice texture and feel, like a grip to it. That's also on the back here. They're just stickers and decals that you can put over the top, but it gives it a really nice look. I have been hiding these from you guys for a while, and I apologize for that. I've taken these Joy-Cons off in every video that I make because I haven't wanted to give away the surprise until I was ready to make this video. But outside of my videos, these have not left my Joy-Cons, and it's so good. It also helps because Kim's Switch and my Switch look identical because, of course, but with these on, I can always tell at a glance which one's mine, and I don't have to turn hers on and see the Hello Kitty Island Adventure and be like, oh wait, this is Kim's one. I can just tell by the Joy-Cons. So yeah, I absolutely love these. This just looks like how it should have looked. This looks like what Nintendo should have done. So yeah, I'll leave links down below for these if you want to check them out and grab them yourself. They also gave me these. I'm assuming that they sell these. I mean, why wouldn't they, right? But I think these are just 3D printed little carry cases that are completely magnetic. It's all 3D printed, but it's still very, very cool, and I appreciate that. I don't think you can buy these. They just gave these to me as a gift, which is awesome. Okay, I'm gonna put my Switch back into my Satisfye grip, but I'm not gonna talk about that yet because I'm gonna talk about today's sponsor. Tokyo Treat and Sakurako. I've done these sponsors a lot, and this is the biggest Tokyo Treat box I've ever seen in my life. These are two different boxes. I'm gonna start with Tokyo Treat. Tokyo Treat is a fun and exclusive monthly snack box packed with Japan's coolest and craziest treats. Each month, you'll get a rare Kit Kat flavor, limited edition chips, noodles, and the latest treats shipped worldwide from Japan straight to your jaw. Well, door, but yeah, I guess straight to your jaw as well. Each box includes a cultural booklet featuring snack descriptions, allergy information, and fun insights about Japanese culture. This is the best one ever. Oh, and it's all Halloween. Oh, because it's October. This month's theme of Tokyo Treat is Snacktacular Halloween. Each year, Japan launches limited edition Halloween snacks like these terrifyingly tasty apple pie Kit Kats. That tastes exactly like an apple pie. Creep and crispy corn bites, Halloween custard cake, and so much more. Is this blueberry cheesecake? I guess it's a mystery box. Add a frighteningly fun twist to your Halloween with these ghostly goodies from Japan before they vanish. But if you're into more traditional snacks, then Sakurako might be the box for you. This month's Sakurako box is Koyo, or Full Colors. It's Nico's Autumn Splendor. So it's very fall themed. So as always, we have tea packets and little snack cakes. I've had these before. These are very good. Is this the little housewares gift this time? Wow, I love that. My little eating mat. Oh no, oh. I bet these have like custard in them or something. So both these boxes offer something different. Tokyo Treat is more of the popular candies and snacks and treats that you'll find in stores when you're exploring Japan, and Sakurako is the more artisan treats and things that you really won't find or see, little cakes and snackies. You can't go wrong with either box. It just depends on your personal taste preference. Whichever you want to grab, use my code BEATEMUPS to get $5 off, or subscribe to Tokyo Treat's annual plan to get these Pokemon goodies and make your Halloween extra special. I'll leave links down below to everything, and thank you Sakurako and Tokyo Treat for sponsoring this video. Thank you. All right, yeah, I know what I said. It's true. None of these products are sponsoring the video. That's what Tokyo Treat was for. But this is my product. You can cut that any way you want to cut it. I'm not being paid to talk about Satisfye right now. But if you went and bought my, obviously, you know, I get it. It's my product, so obviously I would get, obviously. And if it's your first time here, it's gonna seem like I'm just saying this to say this. But you know, if you watch me, I legitimately cannot use my Switch 2 without my Satisfye grip. And I feel like that's a given for anybody that games with the Switch 2 portably long enough. You know that you need some kind of grip for this system. You need some kind of accessory to add comfort when you play, because it's just a very uncomfortable system to hold. Nintendo, they just went form over function. They really didn't care about how comfortable the Switch 2 was. They just wanted to make it thin and sleek, and they left it up to you to figure out whatever you want to do to make it comfortable. So everybody uses some kind of grip for the most part, I think. This is just the one that I use because it's mine. But also, the reason why Satisfye and I even started working together in the first place is because years ago, I just fell in love with their product. And I started using it, and I had it in all of my videos, and eventually they said, hey, you want to make one? And I said, hey, that would be awesome. So we did this on Switch 1. We did it again on Switch 2. I'm not gonna go on and on about it because you guys have heard it a billion times, but how I've always described the feeling of using a Satisfye grip on the Switch is it honestly feels like a very wide PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5 controller. It just gives you those really meaty back handles, and you can kind of see where I'm coming from here, and just makes it super comfortable to hold. It's fully dockable. It sits on its own. There's even 2 slots in the back to take a couple of games around with you. And you can also buy it with the Beat 'em Ups carry case, which is also my favorite carry case. And not just because it has my logo stamped into it now for the first time, and also the fact that my logo are the pull tabs, but the fact that it's just really quality, sturdy, felt inside, super comfortable. If you don't believe me, this guy put a review up on his channel and he loved it. Thank you to that guy. You have a little zip pocket here that you can hide secret notes in if you want. And also like 12, I think, spots to put in more Switch 2 games. I mean, you need a grip and you need a case, and this is just mine, so of course it's the one I'm gonna promote. You can really grab whatever grip and whatever case you want. A lot of them are different varyings of quality, and I think mine is about as quality as you can get. If you've used Satisfye, you know they make extremely quality products. I honestly think they're the best, and they have no issues ever, unlike other brands that I won't name that had a ton of issues on Switch 2 launch. No issues here. Yeah, I love this, and I can't use my Switch without it. This is the #1 accessory. And I know it seems like I'm lying because it's mine, but this is the one that never leaves my system. Well, that and the colored buttons now. This is the best 2 things in the video. You can stop watching now. No, don't. I have a lot more. Obviously, you can find links for that down below. And obviously, I am a partner. They're not sponsoring the video. It's a partnership. You might be thinking there's no difference. There is actually a difference, but I don't blame you for thinking there's no difference. Speaking of traveling with your Switch, I have a couple of products here that make traveling with the Switch 2 so much better, specifically considering the Switch 2's battery life is awful. It's really not great, even when you do the battery fix where it actually displays the battery correctly. It still drains. I took my Switch 2 on a 3-hour plane ride to Texas, and I was playing Mario Kart the whole way with a kid next to me that recognized me actually, which was kind of awesome. We were playing Mario Kart together over the wireless, and this thing just, it dies so quickly. This is a lifesaver. This is the Ugreen charger. They actually did sponsor me in a video for this product, and I not being sponsored anymore. I don't get any money if you decide to go and buy this at this point. I just fell in love with the product. It is awesome, and it helped me out so much while I was traveling. There is this retractable charge cord here, which if you plug it in, it charges the sucker back up. If you plug this into something like the Switch 2, it charges it incredibly fast. I swear, this thing charges it quicker than the actual charger that the Switch 2 comes with, which probably isn't good now that I'm thinking about it, but it's really handy. There's also 2 more ports up here because you can charge 3 things at any given time, and this will charge the Switch 2 back up on 100% battery. It will only go down to like 70%. So you can then unplug this, and if your phone's dying, which, you know, I was traveling and that happens a lot, you can then plug your phone in and charge your phone up and then still be on 50% and do them both a second time if you want. This thing was clutch on my trip, and I really fell in love with it. I love that there's a screen on it, and you can press this button at any time to see how much battery is left remaining on it. It's just awesome. But it is also really big and kind of heavy and bulky. So if you want something more streamlined, Genki sent over this energy pack. And this is cool for a couple different reasons. This one also has a little screen on it here that'll tell you how much battery is left in it. You only have 1 charge point on it, but it is really great and really handy to charge your Switch. It's lightweight. It's also MagSafe. So if I wanted, I could not charge. Okay, I just opened, right. They sent me 2 and I just opened this one. This one probably doesn't have any battery in it. I'll charge it up and I'll show you in the B-roll. But if I wanted, I could also just charge my phone like that. Really light, really compact, really handy. And you can also just like put it in your pocket or put it in the sleeve of a backpack and you can charge up your Switch. So these are the 2 that I like to use. I lean towards this Ugreen one a lot just because it's such a tank, but it's like 10 times heavier than this. So it depends. This is really cool. It's a little slower, but it's more compact. Nintendo have made it really hard to use any third-party docks with the Switch 2. There's software, I don't know, they keep updating the Switch 2 and just blocking the ability of third-party docks. I think it's because they really want you to use their, well, obviously they really want you to use their dock because 1, they want you to buy and use their dock. But 2, their dock supports the 4K and the variable refresh rate. I don't think it does support that, but obviously they want you to use their hardware so they can quality confirm that you're getting the best experience. This is the only third-party dock I could find that actually works with the Switch 2, and it's the third-party kind of dock that I wanted when it came to the Switch 2. Now, it does feel kind of cheap, and it does kind of look like something that I got on Amazon. And I'm going to remove my grip so you get a better effect here of what I'm going for, but I love how minimalistic this is. When I was building out my perfect Switch 2 in the video where I built out my perfect Switch 2, I said that I really hoped Nintendo were going to do an open-faced dock and utilize the screen while the Switch 2 is docked to show things, like things that are happening in your game maybe, kind of like Wii U, or maybe just a clock or a time or a Mario or news or information or the eShop or anything. I just felt like that would have helped separate it from the Switch 1 and give it a different look and feel. They didn't do that, and obviously putting it on a dock like this, you don't get any of those features, but it is that nice clean look that I was going for, and I think this looks a lot nicer sat next to your TV. It's just a lot more minimalistic. On the back, it has spots for a USB-C and 2 regular USBs, the HDMI. I like this dock and it works, and I don't really notice any difference using this dock over the official dock. This is the best option for a third-party dock right now because it works and it offers something different. But it's so hard for me to recommend a third-party dock just after the Switch 1 fiasco of third-party docks frying switches and the power outages just being completely wrong, and really hesitant to recommend it for that reason. But if you're looking for a dock alternative, this is the best one that I can find for now. Genki, we just looked at a product from them, just announced the Genki Shadowcast covert dock situation for the Switch 2. This was one of my favorite products for the Switch 1, and we looked at it at a previous video. It's just a little wall plug that you stick into an outlet, and you have HDMI and you have power, and that's it. And you can just take your Switch 2 anywhere, and you have a little portable dock that has it all in one little... It was awesome and really helpful. I actually took it to the hospital when Kim was giving birth, and that's how Kim and I played Mario Kart to pass some time in the hospital. That doesn't work with Switch 2 because you need that 4K pass-through and a ton of other stuff. And so Genki has an answer to that coming, but right now I think it's being kickstarted and it's still on the way. And I actually wanted to wait for that product to make this video, but it's so far out there that we'll just have to take a look at it another time. But it's something to keep an eye on because I really want that. And that's the best I got for you for third-party docks. Nintendo's making it pretty hard to use any of them. As far as third-party controllers, there is nothing that's even come close to the Pro Controller. And this video isn't necessarily about alternatives to Nintendo's own hardware and things that they offer. It's quite literally best accessories. This accessory is the best one. It's what Nintendo offers. It's like $100, I know, but this has to be one of, if not the nicest controller I have ever used. I put it up there with the Xbox controller. I really do like the Xbox controller. And this feels very similar to that controller as far as how it feels in my hands, except the quality of the material is so nice. It's so silky smooth. I love the built-in back buttons this time around. I love that every game you load up will remember the profile of the back buttons. So you don't just program A to the back button and then every game you play, A is the back button. The Switch 2 and this controller will remember the profile for the game that you load up, which is such a cool feature. And then you also have a headphone jack at the bottom this time around. You have the NFC reader, which a lot of third-party controllers don't add. The battery life is phenomenal. I mean, the whole thing, everything about it, the way it feels, the sticks, just how buttery they are. It's just the big buttons. I can go on and on. The C button, I mean, I don't use it that much, but it's on the controller. I found a lot of third-party controllers for the Switch 1 that I liked more than the original Pro Controller. I looked at the Ghillie Kit one I took a look at, and a King Kong one or something I fell in love with. You know, these third-party controllers I legitimately fell in love with more than Nintendo's own hardware. I don't see anything topping this for this whole generation. I mean, I'm willing to be proven wrong. I don't know how you get better than this controller. I really, really think Nintendo nailed it. It's one of my favorite controllers ever. Just everything about it. It's honestly a must-have for the system. If you play docked, don't be holding the Joy-Cons in each hand. Don't be using the little weird dog bone, whatever it's called, the thing that it comes with. Blech! You gotta get one of these if you can afford it, because it's stupid. Tariffs, am I right? Speaking of first-party accessories that Nintendo never made, a mouse. It seemed like a no-brainer that Nintendo were going to make a mouse accessory for the Switch 2, considering one of the biggest new selling features and gimmicks is that there's mouse mode. And when they didn't release anything official, other than the little clip-on bracket that comes with the console, I thought that was really weird. And then I realized, I guess it's not, because Nintendo would want you to believe, I suppose, that you don't need anything, that this works so well on its own that you don't need an accessory to use the mouse mode. It's supposed to just work, right? So I think that was the mentality in Nintendo not capitalizing on the accessory train and making a mouse accessory where you put this into something to make it actually usable. There are accessories you can buy. I've taken a look at some Amazon mouse accessories that are okay. Nothing has come close to this accessory, which I actually 3D printed myself. It's the only 3D printed thing in this video, but it honestly just hasn't been matched. It was designed by Layer Shift, one of Bob's friends, and I can leave links down below if you want to try printing this yourself. And I'm sure that on Etsy, there are people that have printed something similar. There, as far as I've found, there isn't an official or even third-party accessory that comes anywhere close to just what people have designed in Maker World and for 3D printers. This is incredible. This is so comfortable, and I could easily see myself sitting down at a desk and playing Metroid or playing Civilization using the mouse mode with this 3D printed accessory. And if you have a 3D printer already, this is completely free. It is the best mouse accessory I have found. Next. I'm gonna talk about something very extravagant, very unnecessary, very over the top, very expensive, and that's Viture. Now, this is the other thing in the video, the only other thing in the video that I have done multiple sponsors for in the past. They are not sponsoring me right now, and I am not making any money right now by talking about them, but before they sponsored me, I promoted these things a ton just because I loved them. And then we built a working relationship together later. And even still, I will be the first person to tell you, you don't need these. It's not necessary. They are so cool and they are so fun. And they are designed for the Switch 2 and portable handhelds and consoles that you play on the go. This is their latest model, the Luma glasses. And when it comes to things like your phone or your MacBook or the Steam Deck or the ROG Ally, you can just plug the glasses directly into any of those consoles or devices, and it will just draw power from them and throw the games into the glasses, and you're playing on a gigantic, I've forgotten how big, 170-inch screen, this bright micro OLED screen with insane sharpness and quality. They say it's 4K-like because it's not technically 4K, but the screen, even at like 1080p, is so sharp that people that use them say it looks like a 4K screen. They also use Harman audio, and it's over-the-ear audio, so you don't plug anything into your ears directly, you just hear everything really crystal clear while you play. But I specified all those other consoles being a plug and play because when it comes to the Switch 1 and the Switch 2, the console itself doesn't put out enough power to power any third-party accessories. So to make it work on the Switch 2, you also have to have the Viture Pro dock, which is why things start getting so expensive because of this dock. It's also a power bank. It also has HDMI out, so you can use it for other consoles like your PlayStation 5 or your Xbox if you wanted to. There's slots for 2 glasses if you wanted to plug a friend in and you wanted to play Smash Brothers together in 2 pairs of glasses. Bob and I played Smash this way once before. As I said, it is really unnecessary, but it's also just so cool. I mostly use it in bed at night because it gives me my own private giant movie screen that I can play games in while Kim's watching TV, so we can do 2 things at once. And because it has like pass-through, I can also watch the TV. So I can watch 90 Day Fiancé while I'm playing Hades 2. It's also great for public transport or when you're on a plane because you can just plug the glasses in and then you have a giant screen on a plane. I would feel remiss if I didn't talk about these as well, just because I do use these quite a bit, and there's nothing quite like it. It's so futuristic, it's so cool, and the tech is so well done, but I don't expect anybody to rush out and grab a pair just because of how pricey it is for something that's so unnecessary. I mean, buying all of this costs more than buying a Switch 2. So it really truly is a luxury item. Okay, to something very elaborate and pricey to something a lot more reasonable and cheap, I've actually been using this a lot more than I thought. It's the Genki Mimic case. It's where I've been keeping all of my games when I travel, and I actually just slot it right here into my Satisfye case. Like that. The reason why I like this is because it keeps all my games in one place, and it's a game case that mimics the Switch 2 cases. So I can just slot it onto my shelf like it's a normal game. And if I wanted, I could even take this slip cover out of my Zelda and just slip it into here. Then it mimics a Switch 2. You get it? But I think it's just cool to open this up and just to see all the games that I have. I actually have been collecting a lot of these Switch 2 game carts. Unfortunately, I know I'm part of the problem. And now I have more game carts than fit in here. So I've been thinking about starting to load up another one of these and having 2. I think it's neat that it is an identical as an actual Switch 2 case, and you can just slot it into your game collection and no one would be the wiser. It's like one of those fake books that are hollow and you put a key inside for a safe or something that you'd find in an escape room. So we've already talked about this, the Piranha plant camera, but I'm gonna quickly touch on it again because when it comes to cameras for the Switch 2, I still think this is the best one. The Switch 2 official camera by Nintendo is $50. It didn't get increased with tariffs, I can't remember. And it's just a stand camera that you'll put next to your dock and it just sits like on the cabinet underneath your TV. And that's really the only option that you have for it. It is a nice camera. It's 720p, so it's a higher resolution than this Piranha Plant one. But this Piranha Plant one is a Piranha Plant. for one. So it's instantly already cooler. Two, you can put it next to your dock like the actual camera, or you can open up this bottom part and you can clip it on top of your TV if you want to get a different angle, or you can even remove the Piranha plant, stick it into the top of the Switch, and then you can get the camera portably. So even though this is only 480p, it is $10 cheaper than the official Switch 2 camera, and you just get like 3 modes of play for it, 3 modes of positioning for it, and 4 or 5, I don't know where I'm up to. It's flexible. So you can, it's way easier to get the right angle that you want. It's just so much better than the Switch official camera. So this is my go-to. In one of my videos recently where I did Amazon accessories, I did find a Switch 2 camera that was like $8 or something ridiculous. And the quality really wasn't that bad. And it mimicked this Piranha plant, except it was a weird lollipop pill thing. It was stubby and short and it couldn't clip on top of a TV, but you were able to put it down on a desk and also unplug it and put it straight into a Switch 2. And I would say that that isn't a bad alternative. I would still say this is better, and I trust the longevity of the quality because this is designed and made by Hori, which is a really reputable company that a really quality product giving company that has worked directly with Nintendo on a lot of products like this. So I would trust recommending this over some weird thing I found on Amazon. But that weird thing I found on Amazon really wasn't bad for the price. What more do you want? And finally, we have another Genki product. If you're not totally in love with the way that I always forget, I don't know, I do this every time. I always call it the dog bone clip-in thing. And someone figured out why. They commented on a video. It's because when the Switch 1 was marketed to begin with, it was like a dog's, they made it look like a dog face. And so I've always called it dog bone. I don't know why. Anyway, if you don't like the way the default grip that comes with the Switch 2 feels, you might like this from Genki, because it puts the Joy-Cons at a slightly like 45-degree almost angle here, and also gives you this weird like donut hole to like grip into. And it's weirdly a lot more comfortable having it at this like slided angle rather than just straight on. It also just kind of looks cool. I love the way that looks, especially with the Switch buttons, colored Switch buttons. But it also comes with this minimalistic charge stand, which is why I wanted to point this out, because a lot of people might be looking for a charge stand, especially if you have multiple pairs of Joy-Cons, and this one just goes on charge like that and then just charges up. I don't have it plugged in right now, but it's all magnetic. It's pretty cool. It comes with 2 of these. It comes with an eject button, which reminds me of the old Super Nintendo when you're ejecting a video game to release it. But not only is this a weirdly comfortable grip if you don't have a Pro Controller and you just want to hold the regular Joy-Cons, but it also comes with this very minimalistic and thin charge base. It's super inintrusive in your game room and kind of just looks awesome when you have 2 pairs of Joy-Cons charging. And then if you want to grab one and play, you're on your way. It's so sleek. I don't know. I think this is just the sleekest charging base I've ever seen, and it's just very nice quality. Other than like a micro SD card, which is kind of an obvious given, right? I mean, I have one in my Switch 2 because the game files are so big now and everything's a game key card. It's kind of a necessary evil at this point to spend $50 or $60 more on storage. So other than that, I think I've covered pretty much everything. And these really sick buttons. That's my favorite thing. If there's any kind of accessories or any way that you could possibly interact with a Switch 2 that I'm forgetting, please leave a comment down below with what I should check out next. Obviously, we're only in the first 6 months of the console. And while I feel like a lot of companies have already kind of nailed the best accessories that you're probably going to be able to get, we have a long road ahead of us. So who knows what it's going to look like in 5, 6, or 7 years for this system. And if other companies figure out more cool and exciting accessories and better accessories for the system, maybe we can revisit this in a few years. For now, I think these are the best accessories for the Switch 2 that money can buy. I'll leave links down below for all of this. Like, comment, and subscribe if this video helped you out. And now I'm gonna probably play more Hades 2. I gotta be honest. I have been addicted to Hades 2. Have you played it? There's an up and a down now. There's an up and a down. That's double the Hades. Okay, bye. Oh, remember that? DLC for a game that's not even out. Ugh. Okay, bye.